Can I bring my brother to Australia? What about my mum? Hi, this is Nicholas Yock. I'm a registered migration agent, and today I'm going to run through family-sponsored visas. So firstly, obviously, your child and your spouse, you should be able to include in essentially any visa. And when I say child, I mean dependent child, usually under 18, or if they're slightly older than 18, they must be fully financially dependent on you. Except for working holiday visas, they can be included on any permanent visas. If you're already a permanent resident, you could apply for a child or a partner visa, etc. Secondly, if you're looking to bring a parent, there are parent visas. There are temporary parent visas and there are permanent parent visas. We've got a lot of separate videos on that, so please check those out. Thirdly, and this is probably the most common, the 491 family sponsored stream. So this is a skilled regional visa. So with this visa, if I'm an Australian permanent resident or citizen, I can sponsor potentially my sister, my sibling, even up to like a cousin. But what's the catch? The catch is there's a tiny quota of these issued every year, about 500, and it's still a skilled visa. So you still need to go through, submit an expression of interest, request an invitation, and then only once you are invited can you then apply for the visa. Please note, the sponsoring family member also needs to live in a regional area. So in all my time as a migration agent, I think I've assisted with 4 of these. Compared to the standard 491, 190 or 189 visas, which are state sponsored, I've probably done 400, 500. So it's a tiny, tiny quota. However, still possible. Finally, and this is probably one that you most wanted to talk about, the remaining relative visa. This is for someone whose entire family is a permanent resident or citizen in Australia and they're overseas. So for example, we had a girl who was in Australia and all her mum, her dad, her brothers, her sisters, they were all permanent residents in Australia or citizens. She didn't have any close family members. Basically with this visa, she could apply to remain in Australia. Now fortunately, when she applied, she was holding a working holiday visa. And what this meant was that while it was processing, she maintained work rights. This is because the processing time for these visas, if you are applying offshore, about 20 years. So it's a very, very slow moving visa, but it still could be a possibility. This was just a very brief overview, and all this information is general in nature. And if you want to discuss your situation with a registered migration agent, feel free to contact Pathway to Oz.